Okay, I'm so excited to set up this Paketo project planner. Welcome to our February notebook challenge. So, the first part of this video is setting up my project planner, which I talked about in my most recent video with my Project Phoenix, which is my personal massive project that I'll be working on for the rest of this year in pieces to revitalize my author career, get my backlist back on track, and build momentum publishing new stories, starting a new subscription. It's a huge project, one of the largest, like cohesive projects I've ever undertaken besides my courses. And I'm excited for it. So, what I'm doing right now is just creating a key that is color coded with stickers as well as a little star there and some colorful Tombow dual brush pens. And then I'm just going into kind of the last page of the planner using a piece of washi tape and fixing this little thing onto the back. Now, I probably will laminate that at some point, but at least it's a reminder. And you can see the website one doesn't have an orange sticker next to it because I didn't have any, so I've had to order some. And so we dive right into the monthly planning pages, and these are undated. So I did have this little pad of paper that I was able to grab the month date in gold, and then I am just grabbing the little date dots here to put on. And I apologize for the lighting. I probably should have done something different with my lights, but I'm recording this at night, so that's why it's a little bit darker than I wanted it to be. But on this monthly spread, what I will be tracking every month is basically my goals. Like, I have these index cards that I set up in my previous video, kind of explained that if you want to go back and watch it. And so it's what I call a game board, where you sort of think of your projects like dominoes. And when you finish the first project, it triggers the next project. So what I'm doing is just kind of estimating what's going to get done in February. So the first big project is my blue bucket, which is metrics and metadata. And I'm hoping to get all of my data together, like looking at my average number of sales and income for the past 6 months. I'm pretty sure it's about $3,000 a month, between 3 and 5,000 a month. So I'm going to get that exact number so I can see where I'm going up from there. I'm going to be creating and tracking some information in spreadsheets and getting my links set up and that kind of thing. Then I'm also going to be working on my newsletter. I'm going to be approving my first audiobook in my Shadow Demon saga, and hopefully I'm going to be finishing The Disappearance of Vanessa Shaw. So all of that is on the table, but I'm not going to fill out goals for March yet, because if anything doesn't get done, it's just going to get moved to the next month. I also just took a minute there to put a little note on the monthly. I'm going to kind of experiment with putting a note on each monthly every single day of what projects I finished. So that'll be kind of like a little done section where I can not only mark deadlines coming up, but then also mark after the fact what I got done for the day. And now I'm just going through and putting all of the other months. I'll go in and fill out the date dots later. And I'm not going to do a January, because obviously we're past that. And I'm not going to do January 2025, because hopefully this will be done before the end of this year. So I'm putting a movable tab, and then I also have a gold bow tab over there that is going to be where my monthly section is. And then I'm just referring back to what my plans are for the week, because after the monthly section, there's 52 weekly pages where you can write down your goals. And then you have a daily task list there that you can also use. So I'm using the colorful little color code that I have, and I'm just making the dates, and I'll just fill that out 1 week at a time. Now, some of you who use these for work are probably going to laugh at me or yell at your screen, because I did watch a video about using Gantt charts a while back, but I haven't watched it recently. And so I can't fully remember how I'm supposed to use this, other than it's like a timeline tracker. So I'm just going to try it out, and I'm probably doing it wrong. So if you have tips or you have videos that I should watch, go ahead and link those down below. But first, you have a section to put a project, and then you can say which tasks you're going to do. And you can't really see it because of my lighting, but there are little boxes that are like check boxes there that you can check things off. So I'm putting that metadata and metrics reboot with all my tasks there and the spreadsheets and things I need to do. Then I have some website updates that I'm going to do, as well as my audiobook that I want to get done, and there will be multiple audiobooks coming this year, but this is just the first one. And then also working on the final edits of my upcoming book, Disappearance of Vanessa Shaw. So I've got those tasks started here. And then what you're going to see me do is go through and give it a timeline. And I think I do this a little bit out of order. So I'm setting up other sections here first. After the 52 weekly sections, you have this sort of project notes section where you can say, this is a task I was brainstorming, an idea, a meeting, any kind of research I needed to do. So that will kind of be a little notes section, and I'll feel my way into it. This is the first time I've used this particular project planner, so I'm not sure how I'll use it. And it's okay to go into notebooks or planners and just feel your way into it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Then at the very end of the planner, there are some notes pages, and I'm thinking of either just using that as pure notes or potentially setting up some trackers back there, like sales trackers, numbers trackers, things like that. I know that I'm going to also have a digital component to this because it isn't just me working on this. It is a team of people. So it will definitely be me and Renee and potentially another person that I'll be hiring to come in and help with some of this. So I need a digital tool as well, but it always starts for me with paper planning so I can get this. It's like my strategic brain works better on paper. You can see I'm using some old date dots and things like that from Erin Condren that are from October and, from all of 2021. So I'm reusing those because they never got used from a warehouse sale a while back. And I have most of the colors, but I don't have a red versus a pink. So I'm just not going to worry about that. But you can see I marked some deadlines and some other things like that. Now I'm going back into the Gantt chart and I am kind of creating a timeline with my markers here to get a visual look at the order of which I'm doing the projects, when I want to have one done so I can start the next one. I think that there are lots of other things you can do with Gantt charts, like marking milestones, dependencies, and that kind of thing. Plus, I realized as I was going through it that what do I do with this timeline if I have a March date like I have here with the websites? And I'm like, I'm just going to mark it. But technically, it's possible that I'm supposed to go on to the next page if I'm using March. So I apologize to all of you who know a lot more about this than I do, but it was interesting to kind of try it out. And there is yellow here on the audiobooks, but that color just isn't showing up. And then look at me, I used blue and then suddenly realized, oh no, it's the wrong color. I think I might actually look for a different Tombow dual brush pen in yellow because that one is just not really even showing up well on the paper. So, well, it's experimental and I'm trying to let go of my need for things to be perfect and just do them as best I can. But how exciting is it to finally have this like final edits, potentially setting up pre-order dates and that kind of thing here in this next month. I've been working on this book for years and I'm so ready for it to be done. So that is a setup of my Pichetto project planner. I'm so excited. Okay, so that is the setup of my project planner. But when I was originally setting it up here, I forgot to show you. Well, first of all, I do have my little key here. I probably will laminate that, but I forgot to show you this part, which is just a little pocket that I was able to just paste on, not paste, but like it's sticky on the back from, back when I was doing Planner Society, I guess. And I put all the little book covers in here and what I will do with them. So I'm going to be putting together a box set for Fairhope. So what I'll do with them is when I get to like publishing this or some kind of milestone with this particular project, it will go on the monthly page. So audiobooks, special promotions, BookBub deals, anything big, I'll just make note of it so that when I look back on my monthly pieces, which are just going to be February through December, and hopefully by then I'm done with this as a major project, I'll be able to someday look back on it and say, oh, look at all this work that I got done. So I'll have the color codes and all of the deadlines, and then also these special milestones kind of marked out. I might also I printed out 2 of each book cover, so I might end up putting them into the notes section as well someday, of just like putting this out and then saying like, here's when I'm going to publish it, or any other kind of notes that I might want to use with the book cover. So they're all happily tucked in there at the back. And I think it's great. I think it'll be really fun to keep track on this yearly plan. I'm going to be using color-coded dots. I'm not going to write any words, I think, on here. I'm just going to use the color-coded dots to indicate that I worked on a task. And this way I can really see, because some of these projects are going to be so long that I won't necessarily see the impact or the outcomes that I want to see until potentially months in the future, in terms of like, I'm going to be creating files, but I don't know that they're going to impact sales directly the way that an ad would or something like that. But I need to get the files and other marketing in place before it's going to have the impact. So this way I can at least see, and this is kind of gamifying it. It's like, I can see the progress that I made. I can see how many days I actually worked on Project Phoenix. I can see the time going into it, the effort going into it. And I know, and I can trust that as I'm going, as long as I see this starting to fill with dots or with stars, I don't know where my little star sheet went, but little stars like the one on the monthly sheet, those are for when I completed something, like got a new video up or, finished my audiobook or whatever it is. I'll have lots of little stars for completed projects or tasks, and I'll have lots of little colorful dots for when I've at least got something done on a project in that bucket. And that way I'll be able to see that I'm putting the time in. And I think that will keep me motivated between looking at all of these. Then I do have the weekly tasks that I was talking about, the Gantt stuff again. Wrong colors, mistakes, it's okay. I don't even know how to use it properly, and I'm not going to worry about it. It's just going to be a visual representation, and I will experiment with it as I go, but I'm pretty excited to use it, and I think it'll be fun to look back on this in the future. And then if this type of project planner works for me, then the next time I have another sort of big multi-level project, I can have a little bit more experience with how to set this up. And like I said, I will be setting some of this up in like Asana or Notion as well. So this goes hand in hand with this B5 Stalogy that I also had printed some book covers on. And so originally I printed out these book covers and I was planning to put all of the update notes in here, but then we ended up putting the audit notes into Notion. So I don't know if I'll end up using these pages like I thought, maybe, maybe not. I might do some brainstorming on like keyword research and stuff in here. And then I also have some of the Thrifty Tips for Authors, which is Vanessa Vale's course about moving up to 7-figure income in here. And then I have just more thoughts and journaling about things I want to try. So I will continue, if I end up not having enough space in the notes section in the back of this to keep track of all my notes, I'll expand into this, but I'm going to prioritize this notebook first so that I'm not like juggling and trying to find my notes in various things. And I probably will go through off camera and set up all of those monthly pages with the dates so that I can kind of future plan, but I just didn't want to take the time to do it tonight. So we're going to still do a notebook challenge, but I'm going to kind of zoom through some stuff because time management here, I've got a lot going on. But let me know for sure what planners and things that you're currently using, how you have been doing with your notebooks, if you're trying to actively fill some up, or if you're using lots of multiple ones. Have you actually picked something up off your shelf that you were hoarding and gotten through that progress, not perfection mindset to start using it? Let me know in the comments. So update on this one. This is an Erin Condren Franken planner that has some notebook pages as well as some tabs from the Inspire design. And then I also added in this is from a productivity undated notebook so that I can use sticker kits. So I've been using the Sticker Guru sticker kits. They're absolutely beautiful. They have tons of foiling on them and they're just really, really pretty. So I've been keeping track of pretty much everything just in my life, coffee chats, emails, family stuff if I want to. And this has been my main monthly overview calendar. And in my actual planner, I'm only putting in things that have to be remembered, I guess, is how I'm looking at it. So here is the February one, lots of beautiful rose gold, which is really pretty. And I was thinking, actually, I only have 6 months in this sort of notebook planner. I was thinking about going through and just going ahead and adding March and April or something into this. So I have a few months planned in advance, especially because the main use for this notebook is to start keeping track of my subscription in Ream. So this is something that's going to be starting up soon, and I need to get with the program. I need to start making plans. But you can see I have been taking notes on like kickoff call. I haven't been using these sheets as much, but I think I will use them in the future. But I've been taking notes on the accelerator. I was taking notes at a meeting that I was at, talking specifically about subscriptions and things like that. I did have a few pages left over in January that I'll try to fill up. Then I'm just starting in February, and I think this will be a really good notebook for me. I also have notes in the back on some of the meetings that I've done, but only like a page or so. So as I continue taking that 6-figure author accelerator and thinking up my tiers and other stuff like that for Ream, this will continue to get filled up. And there's like a couple things that I'm loving in terms of notebooks and planners lately. And one is having a really chunky, big Erin Condren, and then also having a B6 size like this. And so one thing that I decided to do, because I had the thought last month that I really wanted to have a notebook again that I could focus on nonfiction and courses. So you've been around for a while with Notebook Challenge. You know that I have gone back and forth about where to track stuff that I'm learning in courses. I'm high learner on my strengths, number 3 learner. So I'm always trying to learn something. I'm always taking classes. I'm always reading nonfiction. I'm always listening to podcasts and webinars and stuff like that. And I was trying to track it in my phone, like on Notion, and I just prefer paper. And so I found that I had like a few notes here, sticky notes here, different things like that. I will be still haven't set up yet, but I will be setting up in February my story journal where I'm going to track all my fiction and story consumption. So it's only right to also set up something for nonfiction and podcasts and things like that, stuff I want to remember. And I just really want to keep it all in one place. I've played around with different ways of tracking this in the past, but because I like this really thick Erin Condren, I decided not to use just their normal notebooks, which are great in size, but I have all these coils from doing Frankenplanner. So I grabbed just a regular size coil that is the rose gold one, grabbed one of my covers out of my stash. This is another one of the Etta V covers, and set up another Frankenplanned notebook. So this is basically just 2 complete notebooks. This is a lined notebook combined with a graph paper notebook. So it's just 2 notebooks thrown into one coil with a little pocket in the back and some tabs. So the way I'm planning to do this is, let's say I'm currently reading Ali Abdaal's feel-good productivity book. So I've been keeping notes and annotating the book itself. When I'm done with it, I am going to take everything that I think about that book and my favorite quotes, my favorite takeaways, and I'm going to put them all in here. So when I do that, I will put a tab, probably one of these small ones, and then I will label this Ali Abdaal Feel Good Productivity. And let's say there's, 4 or 5 pages full of notes and my favorite takeaways and things like that. Then let's say I start taking a course on direct sales or something like that. I would put another little tab here and I would take all my notes for that particular class. I also was thinking if I'm doing multiple things like multiple books, multiple classes at once, I can use these bigger tabs to go ahead and go further back into the notebook. So I could have like a nonfiction book going over here, and then back here behind the tab, I'll start maybe podcast notes or something like that. And we'll see kind of how it ends up. And I think it'll be kind of fun to have another place to track it. So I will keep you updated next month on how that actually turned out. And every time I try to use less stuff, it never fully works out for me. I just like having lots of different options. And actually, while I say that and I have Erin Condren stuff, I do have another notebook planner hybrid that made a reappearance because I was trying to keep all of my editorial calendar notes and my outlines and social media stuff inside my daily planner. But then I very quickly discovered that courses like putting together your path forward, trying to figure out the outlines for longer videos like Project Phoenix updates and how to publish a book in 2024. I've got I'm going to be redoing the plotting series this year. I have lots of notes that are coming into my mind. I don't have space for it in that daily planner because it's already so full. I would have to just fill up 3 pages, pull them out, fill up 3 more pages, pull them out. And I'd rather have all those notes in one place. And so I have pulled back out my Erin Condren monthly planner that I don't know why I keep trying to not use it. I'm just trying to minimize because I feel like I should. And I think I just need to stop doing that. Stop worrying about using less and just use what works, right? I'm not using anything for the sake of using something, and that would be fine too. I'm just really using the things that work for me. And I keep trying to not use the monthly planner, and then I always come back to it for my editorial calendar. So you can see I took a lot of notes in here for that particular month. Then already here in February, I put all of my notes for Project Phoenix into this planner. This one was one that started last year, so it's already got all my notes from last year's videos. And then in the very back, I also was using this notes section to create my Your Path Forward course. And it's not that I couldn't do this in Notion or some other kind of like Google Doc or wherever, but I just find that I focus better when I'm writing it by hand. And so this was all my outlines and notes, and it was great. And now I still have more space. But overall, I feel like this kind of notebook planner hybrid where you have the month, but then just a bunch of notes pages really works well for me. So a couple more things that I'm using. We have my B6 Stalogy for my plotting notes. And I actually, because I've been writing every single morning with a bunch of my friends, it has been I have really been adding a lot of pages to this. So all of these are new pages that I've put in over the last month or so. And I'm almost scared to flip through it because there's so much spoilers here. And this book really depends on nobody knowing what's happening until the end. So I'm really close to being through this entire notebook. And this is my story plotting notebook. I've been keeping track of plot and, edits and notes, and mostly it's just a lot of brainstorming over what's going to happen, what are the clues, how does this timeline work. But I really only have a little bit of space, and honestly I thought I would get more than one book into this planner or this notebook, but it looks like it's just going to be this one book, and I am getting close-ish to being done, and I probably will have some pages left here in the back. But I was thinking it might be cool to use these back pages to post my favorite reviews, or if I get any kind of #1 bestseller tags or just any kind of sales milestones, to track all of that in here so it becomes part of the memory of writing this particular book. Then I'll be moving into a brand new B6 Stalogy for my serial, A Mirror of Shadows, which will be going into Ream. So these will kind of work together because I'll be writing story notes in here, but this will be subscription notes like tiers and subscribers and different things like that, I think is how this will work. And then I'll also start setting this up for my reread through of the entire Shadow Demon Saga world so that I can finish out that series with book 12. So all of that will go into this, and holding this in my hand and knowing that this is going to be not only a new serialized story, but also kind of getting back to the final book in the series is really giving me a lot of joy and excitement. And someday, when this one is done, I'll probably take this cover off and put The Disappearance of Vanessa Shaw on the spine and put it up on my shelf. And someday I'm hoping that I'll be able to show you guys, in 5 years, the whole shelf just lined up with all the notes of all the books that I wrote. And that gives me a lot of joy. I will also be giving away a B6 Stalogy today, or you can choose. I have an A5 Stalogy and I have a B6 Stalogy, so you can choose your size, but I'll be giving away a Stalogy, and it will be in its wrapper, untouched. That'll be today's giveaway. I also am still using the B6 Sterling ink, and I just love having the little charms, and I didn't ever go through and set up a washi dashboard or anything like that because I just haven't had time. But you can see this is my nighttime journal. I still didn't use these front pages yet. I just don't know that I need to, but I do have my tarot stuff here, and I have my memories for the month here already started with February. And then I have my little messages to myself on the weeklies, been keeping up with that really nicely. And then in the monthly section, I only have one tip in, but I'm going to put another one in. And I have been just using these Simply Gilded sheets or journaling sheets from like Jessica Hart's or some of the other journaling sticker shops. And it's been great. Like one sticker sheet or sticker kit from Simply Gilded that comes with the monthly subscription is enough to last me an entire month of journaling. So all I do is I just put the date like Monday and then maybe a full box or a half box or something like that. I haven't done a ton of journaling, but that's what I like about these blank pages is you can kind of do as much as you want. And I did want to say and I thought it was fun here that I'm part of the Sticker Guru monthly subscription for stickers as well. And they do come with journaling pages as well, journaling kits and like a little card. Like how cute is that? But look at this past month. It's coffee and books. How cute is that? This is the same company that I buy the monthly stickers from, and they have this subscription. And for Black Friday, you were able to buy the whole year at a discount. So I'll just be getting the subscription box every month for this year. So they've got the full kit for like Erin Condren, and then they also have 2 journaling pages. So I use these in my notebook here. And then there's also like some extra deco sheets and stuff like that. But look at the books and all the gold foiling. It's so cute. And then you've got the dates, our little coffee cups. Oh my gosh, so cute. I love it. It's perfect. So those are the main notebooks that I'm going to be using for the month of February. And then I also have found this older notebook that I was using before. You may recognize this. This is from 2022, like when we were first moving into this house, but I only used this much of it. And I thought I lost it when we moved in here, but here it is again. And so I still have more journaling pages. This, I don't think I'll do all the time, but this will just be like morning pages or when I want to have them. I do also have the ritual planner that I've been using in the morning, and that has been something that I'm still kind of getting used to every day. I haven't been doing it every day, but for the most part, these are my notebooks and I super love them. So let me know how your notebooks have been going, how you've been doing so far this year in keeping track of things and keeping your thoughts organized and staying creative. It's been a good start to the year for me, and I'm excited to see where things go. Also, just as a reminder, if you feel like this is your year to start publishing, Publish and Thrive starts today as you're watching this. I think I'm going to put this video up super early on Saturday just as a reminder to get into Publish and Thrive, and that today is the Heartbreathing's Writing Community Double Down Day. If you want to come write with us, we'll have sprints going on all day, and I'll have that schedule linked below. But if you want to join Publish and Thrive, enrollment closes at noon, so come join us. And if you don't make it in this round, we'll run it again later in August, so be on the lookout for that. Also, we got to talk diverse reads. So as I am getting ready to start plotting and sharing with you how I'm going to be structuring my serialized story, I am also diving back into my friend Theodora Taylor's 7-figure fiction nonfiction book. I featured that as a diverse read, like when that book came out a couple of years ago, I believe now. But Theodora is someone I have been writing with every day amongst other friends, and she has a brand new release. So I thought that would be the perfect diverse read for today, and it is called Kayla in Paris. So let me talk a little bit about Theodora's book. Yay, let me introduce you to my friend Theodora Taylor, Hot Books with Heart. So I didn't actually see her latest release here on her website, so I don't know that she's updated it yet. But if you click on About Theodora, of course, if you click on books and audiobooks, you can find all of her books linked there. And then here's her bio. Do you love red hot romance novels that give you all the feels? Me too. After logging time as a music journalist, playwright, and radio writer, I fell in love with penning Hot Books with Heart, my 50 Loving States series, which features alternative heroes and smart, feisty heroines, has become a one-click stop for thousands of readers. When not reading, writing, or daydreaming, I enjoy spending time with my amazing family, going on date nights with my wonderful husband, learning German, watching all the Shonda Rhimes shows ever, and attending parties thrown by others. I adore hearing from voices that don't originate inside her head, so please don't hesitate to connect with me on social media and follow me wherever wonderful book communities are found. So you've got some social media links. You also have a link to her 7-figure fiction, where she does actually teach a course on this. So if you've been wanting to learn about universal fantasy and how to write books that hook readers in and keep them coming just from a blurb, listen, Theodora has it locked down. So you can also look at her site in German if you would like, but there's a few things that she sells on her website. She also has a suggested reading order. But like I said, I did not see her recent release. I know that Theodora has been traveling right now, so she might not have had time to put it up yet, but let me tell you, this book sounds so good. I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but I did buy it when it released. It's called Kayla in Paris. It is the first book in her Ruthless Magnates book 1. So I'll rock your world. If you let me, I'll rock your entire universe. Kayla. Raise your hand if you've ever found out your American football player boyfriend of 4 years was cheating on you via a scuzzy daily gossip show right before you two were scheduled to go on an all-expense paid vacation to Paris that was supposed to include a marriage proposal. Nobody else, just me. So maybe you'll understand why I'm crying in first class with the second leg of my flight to the city, on the second leg of my flight to the City of Lights, and why I accept a glass of champagne from the rough-talking Brit sitting in the seat originally assigned to my ex, and why I don't say no right away when he boldly proposes a universe-rocking one-night stand after we deplane Paris, but I'm going to say no. I mean, I should say no, shouldn't I? Don't say no, Kayla. Mick, I'm headed to Paris with one intention, proving to my London-based football team that if they won't pay the pounds it takes to keep me on, I can and will accept a better offer in euros. But I didn't expect to meet an intriguing American on the flight who hates pro athletes and has no clue I'm a world-famous footballer. I'm charmed before I know it, and suddenly this trip becomes less about contract negotiations and more about getting this sweet-natured lass in my bed. Just one taste, that's all I crave, but will one taste truly suffice? And what will happen when, if she discovers who I really am? Will this soccer and prejudice romance begin between a ruthless, rough-talking Brit with an ultra-famous celebrity secret and a sweet-as-pie American with a huge distaste for pro athletes end in tears or love? Discover whether one sexy night in Paris can change everything in this super steamy and delicious standalone contemporary romance. So fun, full of butter, lots of fun tropes here. So if you like sports romances, if you love sort of one night stand type books, this looks so good. And I love this cover. You can actually get this wide on any of the retailers. This book just recently released and was a top 100 best-selling book at Amazon already at release. So definitely check out Theodora's books. I adore her, and I am so honored to get to write with her, as well as some of my other just incredible friends like Leslie Penelope, Ines Johnson, Dylan Allen. These ladies are changing my life, and if you want some great books from some great authors, I highly recommend you check out any of those authors I just mentioned, but definitely check out Theodora's books. She's an amazing writer. Okay, everybody, that is it for our notebook challenge. Be sure, if you want to win the A5 or B6 Stalogy, to leave at least an emoji or some other comment down below. We will pick one winner next Friday, and you can choose your choice between a B6 or an A5 Stalogy. Make sure you are subscribed to this channel, hit that like button. If you want to, over on Instagram, you can tag me at Heart Breathings or use the hashtag HB Notebook Challenge to let me see your notebook stack. Let me know how things are going for you. If you are an alumni or a new student in Publish and Thrive, welcome to the class. We will see you for a kickoff call today at 2 p.m. And otherwise, if you are wanting to write today, come join us in the Heart Breathings Notebook Challenge, and be sure to stop by all of those different YouTube channels as we start writing. So there's so much fun stuff coming up in February and March, and I cannot wait to share it with you. So I will see you in my next video. Bye, everybody.